So I cleared the exam, obviously. And I'll tell you the tough part those days. So about 25,000 people applied for 25 seats.
So you flipped a coin and you decided that we're just going to do our own thing, start our own labels.
Absolutely.
And at that point, like, what kind of investment or kind of support would you have needed?
The value of anything done by hand is going to become so rare.
Right.
So couture is the only bastion where we can still indulge.
Absolutely.
A few years from now, it may not exist. Gen Z has a huge role to play in this.
It does. They do. Yes.
They need to believe in this. They need to propagate it. They need to support it. So this is mandatory. It's almost like a service to the nation.
I agree.
That how do we agree before it all becomes museums?
I want to go back to your sabbatical just very quickly. I want to know the top three things that you learned apart from never resting on your laurels and all of that. But I want to know 3 hard reset strategies that you guys really implemented to bring this back, to bounce back.
Well, I think the first is honesty with self.
Okay.
And that's very important because one of the common follies of any person and in any trade is to start looking at what's happening around you. Because then you start thinking that what is happening around me is probably right. And I should also try and do something like that.
Right.
Worst idea on the planet. You have your own core strengths, you have your own signatures. Focus on that, evolve within that, take that to the ultimate level where nobody can be as good as you.
Okay.
That's number one. Number two, believe it or not, there is no substitute to hard work. So whilst people may think that no, now, anything can be done in half the time or whatever. Yeah, time management, yes, but no substitute to hard work. So something that does require time and attention will always need to be given time and attention.
Sure.
And there are so many things one can talk about. And the third, if I were to identify out of all of that, would be a very simple principle of life, which is never give up. And that is very important because most people give up. And you cannot. If you truly believe you have a skill set which is unique, at one point or the other, it'll shine.
Yeah.
So you can't give up.
No, I think those are all really great points. But I also want to know more specifically, like, for example, for example, you would think that, listen, we were making 500 pieces earlier. Now we should probably make 100. Or we were opening too many stores earlier. I'm talking about like specific.
Those are all things that now that talk is all business plan linked talk.
Yeah.
And it's best not to talk to a creative guy about those things.
Okay.
And I'll give you a very good reason for that because that's where things mainly go wrong for creative guys when they try to become businessmen.
I've been seeing that common denominator.
Yeah, so I think it's best to focus on what you do best. And there are plenty of other people who are brilliant and creative at business. So get in the right team because that matters.
Right.
And then learn to work with a team. That's also very important.
No, that is, I think, key, right? Because if your team falls apart, then,
Yeah.
The outfit that you sketched sitting in NIFT, do you remember it? Did you ever make
I
it?
don't. I don't remember at all.
Yeah.
Must have been something nice.
It must be something amazing. Gave them all of a minute to take a decision, but I was just wondering if you...
I just don't remember. I do remember, however, my first money that I earned.
Yes, you were going to get back to that story.
It was sort of a friend. Her name was Aditi Sahai. Aditi, I don't know if you're listening to this. I haven't met her in 30 years, so I don't know where she is.
Okay.
But at one evening when we were sitting together, she said, I really want a jacket and whatever. And I was in need of money. So I said, look, I'll make it for you.
Yeah.
She said, make it? I said, yeah, I'll make it for you. Forget it. So how much? I think it was $250, not $1,500.
What?
So for 250 rupees, yeah, I'm quite sure it was 250. For 250, yeah, because 1,500 used to be the starting salary of Niftians at that time. So now I remember.
250 rupees?
Yeah. For $250, I went to the market, picked up the fabric. After classes in the lab, I cut it and I stitched it.
Right.
First, I took a measurement,
Of
of course.
course.
I stitched it for her. For $250, I gave her the jacket.
Oh my God, I hope Miss Sahai is watching this. I hope we can track her down, get a picture of that
I
jacket.
have no idea if she still has it because it was.
Oh God,
I mean,
yeah.
now
it
we're
was-
talking about 1989.
That should be part of your archives. That's 250 rupees is like.
250
That's the
rupees.
similar amount to what you sold your books for.
250 rupees. Exactly, I remember now.
Yeah. Wow. So,
And I'm going to look for her today on and search.
so that is pretty much the first outfit you made, right? Because that was going to be my next question.
No, the big high for me was not only did I sell it, I made it.
Correct.
There was no tailor involved, no
Right.
master, no cutter, no tailor. Everything was me.
Wow.
So it was good fun.
Because that was literally my next question. The first outfit you ever made, do you still connect with it? What was it? And I have the story
Yeah,
here.
it was
but
just a
that's-
jacket. I think I have a thing with jackets.
You do.
There's another thing I'm realizing now. That's
You
why
do.
we have the Alika,
Yeah.
we have the Ika. So the my first best-selling line of clothes after my fiasco Calcutta
Yes.
thing was a line of jackets.
Wow.
So
Definitely. Yeah.
There's
yeah.
something about jackets.
I also, in clothing, I think I'm really pulled towards jackets. Like I can live my entire life in two basics,
Yeah.
but I have to keep switching my jackets.
Because the rest is a canvas. Then what you do on top of it is.
Absolutely. And
layering.
jackets are just so fun, right?
And you
do
can
so much with
layer,
it.
there's
Yes.
this sort of whole
Yeah,
process.
layering, and then you can sometimes just put it over the shoulder. You don't always have to wear them.
Exactly.
Right. Now, what advice would you give to young talent today, apart from the fact that they must work hard and all of that? I'm sure a lot of people are doing, but what we really want to know is maybe something that you would even tell yourself, your younger self, but also specific advice that you would give to the young talent.
Well, I think talent today is unfortunately imprisoned in a world of technology.
Okay.
And they have to somehow learn to break free. And that is going to be perhaps one of the biggest challenges they'll ever face. That how are they going to hold on to what their country truly stands for in terms of its history, culture, craft, tradition, everything.
Right.
And they need to modernize it to make it relevant.
To basically stay rooted and yet be innovative.
And yet be innovative. So how are they going to balance between a reality and the technology? For me is it's a dream world. Anything can exist there.
Right.
So how are they going to play that balance?
Do you have any ideas or a word of advice?
I think it's a learning process now because with tech coming in the way it is, social media has made Gen Z perhaps one of the loneliest generations ever, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And that's not a good thing because interhuman relationships are very important. There's a lot of learning which happens by actually dealing with people and not with bots.
Right.
So that's important. Second is AI is stepping in a big way.
Yes.
So suddenly there are going to be beautiful shortcuts available for just about everything. How are you going to circumvent that? How are you going to keep your creativity alive? And yet kind of balance it with effectively using technology.
Yes.
So this sort of whole scenario,
It's a mammoth of a challenge.
it's a huge challenge. And Gen Alpha will deal with it. Gen Z is dealing with it.
I feel like the Gen Alpha is going to go back to the roots completely.
I have a feeling of that too. They're very
Yeah,
chill.
right?
I mean, my younger daughter, she's 17. And her phone is lying there. She won't be on Instagram for hours.
Yeah.
I said, it's okay. What's the big deal?
Yeah.
And she said, I'm so fed up of seeing AI-inspired reels, AI reels.
Yeah.
What's the big deal? I mean, it's just, so she's more into the real things
Right.
and everything,
The real experiences, the actual touch
Whereas
and feel.
my Gen X girl is
Urvi.
stuck.
But I mean, her work involves for it too. Like her work calls for it. I mean, I see that. It's
No,
like,
she's utterly creative.
it's
so.
a work hazard for her. But do you think that, do you think like when we're talking about the future and we're talking about future of fashion, who's shaping it right now? And like, all of the OGs are standing strong, like, the couturier like yourself, big houses.
And
They're
now
all,
the corporatization, because between
Right.
Birla and Reliance, they have snapped up
yes.
nearly 60% of the fashion houses of India.
Basically.
Yeah.
So So you think they're shaping the future of fashion?
Of course. There's no getting away from it. Corporatization will only make things stronger. It'll always be challenging.
Yeah.
It can't be easy because now is a real tussle between creativity and commercial
Commerce,
this
yes.
thing. And I'm sure the winners will be there, some losers may be there.
Yeah.
But at the end of it, at least, we'll have fashion brands as corporations and
Right.
not merely as little petty operations,
Yeah.
which are also good, by the way. I have nothing
Right.
against them.
Right.
In fact, some of them are very special.
Yes.
Remain small, but remain
And I think a lot of
focused.
them have that as their ethos too. A lot of them
Yes.
are deliberately wanting to
Yes.
stay
Yeah,
family
yeah.
owned, family
yes,
run.
yes. I think it also, I mean, look at Armani. Till now, it's a family owned.
Yes.
And now in this will, it's come out as what he wants to do.
Yes. He'll
Ralph
say,
Lauren is still family owned.
Right.
So and this is what I was telling somebody the other day. I said, you've got to remember there's some lessons to be learned here. I believe in taking classicism and making it new.
okay.
And the power of classics should never be underestimated. We have, because it's something you'd always go back to at some point of time. Whereas a fad and a trend is transient.
Right.
It'll be very hot today, but tomorrow
Yeah.
you don't want to see it.
But so hold that thought because I want to ask you this as a designer and in absolute technical capacity. How does somebody, a young talent today, how do they tie in that timelessness into the situation of rapidness, right? How does one, like as a designer, like let's say today you're starting out, okay? You have all the same innate qualities, you have all the same inspirational, background. How would you now tie in the timelessness to make sure that you stand out as a classic, timeless?
I think there's no law on this and no books written about it. It's highly individual. And I think it all depends on the person's mind space. So there's some people who are absolutely hardcore believer of the classics and some would be absolutely anti them. And this is one of the first principles that one must learn when they become a designer, that everybody is not going to love your work.
Right.
There'll be a lot of people who will not like your work.
Correct.
But the secret is to focus on the ones who love your work and not try and get the ones who don't like your work.
Well, what happens when those who love your work start telling you, listen, do this also now, listen, do it that
They
way
won't.
also?
They love your work because they respect
Okay.
what you do.
Okay.
And then if you've become obsolete and out of it, that's a different story.
Then they start approaching you the other way.
Then you sort of and the greater chances of you becoming obsolete or irrelevant is when you try to do something which is not innate to your intrinsic core.
Right. Because then it shows.
Then it shows
Then
you're
it's
trying
all
too
over.
hard.
Right.
You'll lose your way.
Yeah. You were one of the first designers to kind of get this huge collab as an ambassador to Swarovski. What were some of the learnings? How did you get that? And how is it valid even today? Because I believe collaborations are just the way forward.
Yeah.
But how is that? How did you get it? What did you learn? And what's the future of it?
Well, I guess I was just lucky. Swarovski wanted to come into India with their crystals. Crystals did not exist in India or Indian embroideries.
Right.
They must have done some scouting around that who's doing the best embroideries in India.
Aha. They had an aha moment.
They said, oh. Actually, let you on a little secret, but don't ask me who and why.
Okay.
There were meant to be two of us.
Oh, no, you can't do that to me
No,
now.
I
Who and
can't
why?
because it's old story. I won't tell you why.
Okay.
But by some strange quirk of fate, the two became one.
Wow.
And I ended up being their first brand ambassador in India. And since they had never kept brand ambassadors ever, I became the first ambassador globally.
Which is insane, which is why I'm
Yeah,
asking you, like,
which is,
how
like,
did
really
this
strange.
happen? And
So
what?
it was really a simple thing. They wanted to come into India.
And they just
they wanted to
scouted.
tie up with someone who represented the spirit of India in the right way and who they knew would be able to imbibe their medium
Right.
in an effective way. I continued to work with them till they exit from India a year and a half, 2 years back, and where they shifted their focus more on consumer goods and all that else, and jewelry. And they moved out of the fashion sort of this thing.
So they've completely left that.
So in India, they are no longer present.
Okay.
So obviously,
What is the reason for that? I mean, it's only growing. People are
That
just
only Swarovski can
Swarovski will
answer.
know, right? But it just seems like such a weird thing to do only because now it's growing, and I think the market would grow for them even more, quadruple, in fact.
But globally, they are growing in a big way, but on a very different platform now. It's more jewelry and their
The icons of
objects. They
the
are the little
right.
objects.
Okay. So, about your Alika jacket that became so iconic, how did you, or how do you even continue to sort of translate that narrative into, it's almost like saying, when do you realize that your clothes are not clothes, but they are stories? When does that happen? Does that happen very early on? Like when you're sketching and all, do you realize that, listen, I'm going to make this into that? Or is it,
No, there's a bit of this and there's a bit of hit and try always.
okay,
But the Alika is a different story altogether. The Alika, actually, I did a collection called Alika,
yes.
which was based on a fictitious courtesan. But I got so fascinated by that courtesan in the development of the collection that I said, I want to immortalize her.
Right.
How can I immortalize her? So I said, let's just create a silhouette, much like the Chanel tweed jacket. I said, let's create a silhouette which is easy and which will never change form ever.
Ever.
That's it. But we will make a limited edition run of it every year, new versions
New version.
on the same silhouette.
Okay.
So that's how it was born, and till date it remains.
It's one of your iconic pieces, yes.
One
It's
of
the
our
most
iconic things,
relatable.
yeah. And then we created its younger sibling called Ika.
Yeah.
Take out the AL and you get Ika.
Yeah.
And Ika is the cooler sister, the cooler chick
Yeah.
who kind of doesn't want all this embroidery, wants something lighter,
Yeah.
wants to flip the jacket over to make it look different. So the Ika is the reversible,
She
no
wants
embroidery
options,
jacket.
variations, kind of a girl.
It's the same silhouette, but no embroideries, and you can flip it over and wear it.
Oh, it's a reversible.
Yeah, it's reversible.
Oh, wow. Okay. So, and that is also, these are all your iconic pieces, right?
Yep.
Do you, in every collection, intentionally want to develop a piece that you feel like this could be another iconic piece? Or do you just
I
watch
think
and
it
wait and watch?
happens. I think it just happens.
Okay.
When you plan too much, things don't really happen that well. And this is something I've learned. So, like my chevron pattern, the shifting leaf chevron, it just happened. There was this classic chevron that one sees all the time, the black and white
Yeah.
thingy.
Yeah.
And I was looking at it one day, I'm like, it's a very catchy one. It's just about the whole world is using it. But how about if I just shift the pattern so that the black aligns against,
Mismatch it a little bit.
mismatch it a little.
Yes.
And I said, and supposing I just reshape that form.
Almost Indianizing it a bit with the leaf. a little
Almost
bit of-
Indianizing
almost.
it. And a new pattern emerged and we used it. People loved it. We just kept doing it and we kept doing it and we kept doing it. We're still doing it. So it's almost become something akin to what the Burberry check was. Or
Another
something,
signature.
that everybody wants it. So till date, whenever people come and buy whatever they do, from whether it's JJ Valaya or from Couture,
Yeah.
they would always take one or two of the chevrons. It's
And also, or
mandatory.
maybe an element that kind of just, it's like a signature almost.
Yeah,
So you
so-
see it and you know it's something from
everybody
the house.
knows that. It's now patented and copyrighted to us
Right.
in India and also.
That's a correct move also.
So the shifting leaf chevron is definitely an identity. The Alika and the Ika are identities with us. And another series we really celebrate in JJV Kapurthala is series Fauna, where it's like my little effort of the anti-skin campaign of sorts,
Right.
where there is so much beauty and texture and color in all in fauna created by God in nature.
Right.
So only inspired by that, we recreate those patterns very painstakingly in a very detailed way and develop our own prints. So our zebras have happened, our leopards have happened, our giraffes have happened. I don't know what the next one is going to be. But so series Fauna is where every year we take one animal or any living fauna
Right.
as an inspiration and recreate a complete series on it in prints.
That's so lovely. And it's also a way to sort of, again, innovate and just keep moving forward with that, right? So that's very cool. I want to get to like you styling and dressing from royals to celebrities to everybody. When you're dressing them up, do you also find your style or your ways evolving with the personality, or do you keep that, listen, this is my style language and we're just putting it on you, or do you adapt to what they bring to the table?
No, I think that I do for everybody. It's
Okay.
not only celebs.
Okay.
That is an intrinsic part of me, my psychology of humans. So obviously, I have a preset idea of how I want things to be done.
Yeah.
But there's so much that you learn by just listening. You don't have to kind of ignore or have an opinion on everything.
Right.
But sometimes just listening silently tells you so much. So whether it's a client or a celeb or
Royalty.
royalty or a Hollywood Oscar winning costume designer who I worked with
Wow.
for Black Panther 2,
Yeah.
whilst developing the costumes for Angela Bassett in Black Panther 2.
Yes. Yes.
You've got to listen. And there's so much that comes out of that listening. And then you adapt it to your style, your sensibilities.
Yeah.
And you create something which everybody likes.
Right.
In the end, why are you doing this? To make people happy,
Yeah.
And if you end up making some money in that bargain, it's fine.
It's great.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yes.
But it has to give you satisfaction. Otherwise, you could well be bottling jam.
Yeah.
That
That gives a lot of satisfaction, by the way. I love the process of bottling. Yes,
yeah,
and
but
it's hand
you
done.
won't love it every day, na?
No.
Year after year
101%
for
not.
33 years.
No, absolutely not. How do you decide when you, again, in the design process, how do you decide what is sacred and what is up for experimentation? Like when I look at my mom's, let's say, a Jardozi sari, right? And we're thinking of like upcycling some of her old stuff or figuring out something. There's some things you just don't touch, right? You just be like, no, this was gonna. So in your world, what remains sacred and what is up for experimentation?
So I think the intent must always be sacred
Okay.
and the endeavor should always be experimental. And it's very important.
That's a very, very nice answer, by the way.
But that's very, very important because if you're smart and you learn how to, and I love contradictions, so I'm a man of contradictions. When something is severely contradicting the other thing, it gives me great excitement.
Really?
Yeah, then I want to do something which is
Can
going
you
to
give me
shake
an
it up.
example?
It's in everything I do. I will. So, our tagline, the Royal Nomad with a penchant for Art Deco.
Okay.
Who would, in their right mind, put royalty, the nomad, and
Yeah.
Art Deco together to create
Okay.
one unified statement?
Got it.
Nobody would.
Right.
Somebody would have a very royal look, somebody would have a very nomadic look,
Yeah.
somebody would have a very clean, glamorous Art Deco
Right.
look.
But you have this amalgamated POV,
How
which
do you
is
just throw it
right.
all together? And
Which is
put
very
it
cool.
in?
Mr. Valaya, we're going to move on to some fun, easy breezy questions. And this way, all of us are going to get to learn some styling tips from you. There's always something to learn from everything you say. So we're just going to go for it. What's one timeless piece that you feel that every person should invest in? I mean, no matter the budget.
Oh, this is no-brainer. The Alika.
The Alika jacket.
For sure.
Yeah.
I mean, there's absolutely no other choice.
Hands down. Okay, love it. If someone wants to look instantly more polished, what is your go-to style hack for them?
No more than 3. It's an old principle. And which pretty much means that whatever you wear, wear probably 60% of a primary color, wear 30% of a secondary color, and maybe a 10% accent, which could come in through accessories or whatever. Just don't overdo it.
Just don't overdo it.
And keep makeup, hair really simple, really elegant. If you're doing dark eyes, keep pale lips.
Right.
If you're doing strong lips, keep light eyes.
Right.
Some real basics, but people tend to forget.
They
Just
tend to
don't
forget.
try too hard.
I was going to say my next question was, what's the most common mistake people make when they're trying to dress stylishly? But I think I've got
Yeah,
that
that's
answer.
pretty much it.
So how can someone build personal style without chasing trends?
By being honest to yourself.
Okay.
And that's very important because a lot of people dress to please others. And that's where they go wrong. Dress to please yourself and you'll always be trendy.
And then you'll always be in style.
Yeah.
So, is there like for me, for example, I love accessories, right? For me, my hack is that if I have to rush out in like a minute and I'm wearing something, chances are I'll just wear an accessory which will overtake the whole thing and I'll be done, right?
Which is great.
That's my hack.
Which is great.
But what is that one accessory for you that can elevate even the simplest outfit?
So different for women, different for men.
Let's hear it for
so it
both.
all
Why not?
depends. And I'm not a big believer of that one accessory. I mean, a woman could be a bag. Yeah, a great bag would always be a lifesaver.
Right.
But the story is never complete by just one object. So now you must wear a nice belt and nice shoes, which all work together.
Yeah.
Ditto with men. I could say, yeah, great watch, but no. But again, nice shoes, great socks, good cufflinks, everything puts in together.
Yeah.
So it's not that easy. You can't imbibe true style by just saying I'll throw in one thing and I'm done.
And you would be done. So when someone is in front of you and what is something that puts you off? What is something that can put you off about style?
However strange it may sound, and even though I'm a maximalist, when people overdo things without knowing balance. Maximalism also needs to be balanced.
How do you do that? How do you achieve that?
It's a skill. You've got to learn it.
It's a secret
I wish it was.
sauce.
How can you just give it out there?
Okay, cool. I'm going to tone it down then. For someone on a budget, how do you recommend mixing high street with statement pieces?
I think any stylish person should be mixing this. I've always believed that you should go buy couture or luxury Pret,
Right.
and they go high street, buy a great pair of jeans, nice shoes, put it all together, buy some junk jewelry, nice hairband, and you're done. I mean, actually, one of the finest examples of this was this American style icon, Iris Apfel. She no longer.
She
She
was
passed away
amazing.
recently.
She was 102, I believe.
102.
My
And
gosh.
the way she put her looks together, I am in awe.
Right.
And it was never luxury all the way.
But I want to know, it's a very great point that you brought up for me to ask you. Someone like Iris, right? And versus someone who tries different looks every day. Because when you think of Iris, you know what you're looking at. You're looking at those big glasses, you're looking at huge, chunky
Lots of
necklaces,
colour.
lots of color. But then what about that one person who's wearing a very Banjara-esque outfit one day, is wearing very tailored look the other day, the next day? What do you feel about that? Are both of them valid?
That one person is very, very unsure of what he or she wants.
Yeah.
I think eventually clothes are about who you are, and they will reflect your personality. So you'll see most of the designers don't dress very fancily. They're very basic.
Yeah.
Because we're just dealing with so many clothes
Right.
and so much beauty and so many embellishments in this thing that we kind of
Keep it
get
simple.
all our thing there, and therefore we want to keep it simple.
Right. No, you're right, because most of the designers that even I've met with are either they're very utility and sort of, oriented, comfort oriented. They don't really have that. There's no need to.
They're stylish,
Right.
but they're very low key in their own dressing.
Right.
The better ones. And there are some who try to dress up a bit too much. I feel they still need to work on their craft.
Yeah. Okay. What is your golden rule of style that applies to everyone? Everyone across the board. One rule of style that you feel like has to be sort of applied.
Wow. This one is very difficult to answer. But the only rule of style I've always believed in is be yourself.
Okay.
So the most important thing is recognizing who you are and conveying it through your clothes, through your look.
Okay. One Indian textile that you feel is very, very undervalued.
Well, khadi used to be it, but it's making its place felt in a lot of collections now, thanks to the efforts of a lot of people.
Yes.
But there are a whole lot of weavers and weaves across the length. See, India is not a country, it's a continent.
Correct.
And I think if we get down to this reply, it's a journal in itself. There's just too
One that comes to your
much.
mind.
Oh, too many. I mean, where all will you go? Every state has its own set of weaves. And I think each one of them deserves to be up there. So it's very difficult. Not an
Is
easy
there a
answer.
weave that you haven't used?
We try and get in a lot. And for us, fabric is a canvas
Yes.
on which we then create
Absolutely.
our own paintings by layering it with our prints, our textures, our
Embroideries,
embroideries.
right, correct.
So I don't know. I think I haven't worked enough with ikat. That is something I would love to do more. Probably that, yeah.
Ikat, like Orissa ikat, like the real.
Yeah. There are a couple of states that work with ikat.
Yes.
So we could really
So
explore.
ikat is one. And then is there one that you tried but didn't work out?
Like I tried and gave up, and I want to go back there. Mashru, it's a fabric in Gujarat, and I actually tried working with how it's originally made.
Right.
And I think they've been cutting corners on the quality over there. Poor guys must be under stress for
Right.
pricing and all that. But I feel like I want to develop that using finer yarns and creating something new.
Because you're essentially known, apart from everything else that you do, I believe your core interest also lies in R&D.
Oh, my research,
Right,
yes,
you
a
love
lot
it.
of it,
Right?
of it. And then embellishments. These
Correct.
areas fascinate me totally.
Fascinate you. So
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
why
I have to have my story in place. If there's no story to a collection, I was shocked. And again, no names. When a very senior marketing person joined us recently
yes.
and said the whoever XYZ she was working with earlier used to make the whole collection. And when the collection was ready, she used to call a marketing person and say, okay, then what should we say the inspiration is?
Oh.
I'm like, wow, what a way to work. There's no soul. So basically, what you're doing is nice colors, put some embroidery here or there, and we're done. Where's your story? Why have you done this? Why this motive? Why this color? Why this? Where does this come from? Who are you trying? You're an artist. You're trying to interpret something.
Right.
What are you trying to interpret?
Trying to express something, trying to
yeah,
say
what's
something.
your expression?
Right.
So I can't understand people who work with such a soulless attitude to their work.
Are there any contemporary designers that you have recently that have come to light and you've really been impressed with their work? Can we have some names?
I think we've got incredible talent in
Yes.
India. But now I have a problem. The problem is I can't remember the names of most of the
Just
young
describe
ones.
them, I'll know.
No, there's just so many of them. I see their work, but I don't know who they
I know
are.
what
You
you
know what I
mean.
mean?
Yeah, I know
and
what you
there's
mean.
a lot of them.
There is a lot of them.
So I don't know who they are, but I keep seeing work, and often a lot of these young kids come and introduce themselves to me, and I'm saying, "Oh, this is your work. That's brilliant. I've been
Yeah.
seeing it and whatever."
Yeah.
But I don't remember the name. I think I'm just being stuck in my
In your-
own little
in your batch.
zone.
In
Yeah,
that batch of
when
lift.
it comes to the brands. But I know for a fact that there's so much creativity which is coming out.
It's really, really impressive.
Very, very nice.
I
It's
went to Delhi Haat
amazing.
recently for a friend, and she was showing there. And I was just walking across, and there were new budding artists that were showing their work. And she was selling upcycled, sort of not upcycled, but like kind of working with khadi and all of these fabrics, but very patched up together,
Yeah.
but very cool.
Yeah.
And I wore that to the India Art Fair. I'm not joking.
And
how many
everybody must have asked
people
you.
stopped me
This is my
for that
point.
jacket.
This is my point. The point is that there's so much talent in this country.
It's amazing.
And it's actually gives me a lot of pleasure to
Yeah.
just see that there's so many young people doing such interesting work.
Do you go out there to take a look at what's happening?
See, I'm a board member of the Fashion Design Council
Yes.
of India, so I'm exposed to a lot of the work because I, at Fashion Weeks or something, which I rarely visit actually, but when I do. But I do see a lot of work. Now, here, I'd like to thank social media because it exposes you
Absolutely.
to like the whole world.
Right.
But whatever I'm seeing is absolutely wonderful.
With FDCI, you're one of the founding, like you were part of making of the FDCI,
Yes.
correct?
Yes.
What did that dinner table look like? What does that discussion look like? I want to get in on that. Like,
There were
4 or 5
various-
people sitting together.
There were various office tables of 4 or 5 of us. So sometimes my office, sometimes somebody else's office. So 5 or 6 of us, I remember, were there, and we all got together and said, look, it's high time India got a fashion body. And we started talking about this in around 97. And by 99, we had registered the FDCI and created it.
Wow.
And that was it. And the rest is history.
So just creating it. And do you remember the first gush of members that must be wanting to be a part of that
Yeah.
council, because it was.
There's a lot of historical things that have happened there as well.
Give us a
Some
few
very good, some
anecdotes.
not so good.
Give us a few anecdotes.
But we managed to create something, and now I tell you, full marks to Sunil Sethi
Yes.
for running the ship the way he does, because that's like not a captain of a ship, it's a captain of a fleet. He's an admiral.
Yeah.
To be able to.
But the one thing I noticed about him was that I used to work for a company called Urban Outfitters. I was all the way in Philly. And one day I saw Mr. Sethi walking across, literally walking towards me. And obviously he doesn't know who I am, but I knew who he was because we knew FTCI. We knew that, this is a council, you have to be a member of it to be able to show and all of that. And I met him with so much excitement. And I was met with, if not equal, more excitement. Because all he had in his mind was to share his excitement to bring all these buyers of Urban Outfitters to India.
Yeah.
That was his sole purpose. Because that excitement. So what I'm trying to say is that about him, what I loved was that excitement and passion almost never. Like you can poke him in the middle of a restaurant and he'll up and talk about.
No. He's unreal. I call him the
too good.
Duracell bunny.
What do you call it?
Duracell bunny. Like, where is that battery hidden which just keeps you going?
That's amazing.
It's quite incredible. No, he's a very, very dear friend. And I'm so glad that he's part of the FDCI. And I'm so glad the Fashion Design Council of India has really prospered.
Right.
And a lot of interesting things have happened and are happening. So you're right about that. He's always there to help and saying, okay, now if new people coming in, then he'll make calls, meet them.
He's always wanting to put India on that map
Yeah.
for buyers and for real commerce. See, but art is there, right? Because art has always been there, and people who seek it find their way to India eventually. But I'm talking about the commerce of it. Like he's always involved. Bring the buyers. We want that business, and they need to be part of it.
No, absolutely.
Moving on to some celebrity questions. Is there a celebrity look that you created that went viral and became iconic in a way that you didn't expect it to?
The shifting leaf chevron outfit on Kiara Advani.
Okay. That was a sari?
It was first, the sari was series Fauna, which
because
she'd
that's
worn.
Okay.
But then she wore the shifting leaf chevron skirt and a top.
Okay.
And oh my God.
That went berserk.
That just sort of, made a lot of people resonate with the pattern a lot more.
They suddenly saw the,
Yeah.
it was almost
for a couple of months, everybody came into this thing, hey, Kiara wala.
Asking for that.
Kiara.
It's the power of the celeb and the styling. It's unreal.
It's when the two very strong things come together, the result can be quite magical.
The result can be magical. I agree. What's the one behind the scenes story from a big show or a celebrity wedding that people would never guess? I could take it from your show. I feel like you're closer to that. So, any behind the scene, behind the curtain story from your show that we would have never guessed?
There's just adequate amount of madness that happens backstage. But it's impossible to really isolate story there. But I mean, what I want everybody to realize is that what they see in 25, 30 minutes is a culmination of 8 months of hard work, number one.
Right.
And then for that particular moment, those few minutes, it's a culmination of the hard work of choreographers, sound specialists, sound composers, music composers, stage, sound, light, makeup, hair, accessories, styling. So much goes into just putting those 25 minutes together.
Right.
That in itself is a very tall order.
But maybe early on, like in your earlier shows, like a Tasveer or like the show that was where Alika
Well, I can
jacket.
tell you about my first shoot. I mean, that memory can never go off.
Okay, let's
My
hear
first
it.
shoot, I was a photographer, the designer, the makeup artist, the stylist, everything.
Everything.
Because I couldn't afford
One-man
anything
show.
else. So, I mean, that's how it all began.
We need pictures for that. I'm sure you
I
have
do
them
have
in
one
your
picture.
archive.
I have one picture.
You have
I
one
saw-
picture?
I found it somewhere that day. Then me doing makeup and going back and seeing whether the
Oh
eyes
my
are
gosh,
right.
that
now.
would be so cool.
Yeah, I
we
kinda
want
remember
access to that
that.
picture. Has there been a customer or a client? I mean, customer client is the same thing, but a client or a celeb or a royalty that made you realize the emotional power clothes can carry?
I think it happens all the time.
Yeah, you think
It's
that?
not a one-time thing. There has been such an overwhelming display of gratitude from people who've been so happy because till now primarily we've dressed people only for their big day.
Right.
That's weddings,
Right.
and to make them feel special. Look, yes, obviously everybody will work hard to make them look special,
Yeah.
but to be able to have made them feel special was a lot of time it's been acknowledged and reciprocated with a lot of nice gestures.
Right. So has there ever been like a time where you felt somebody getting super emotional purely because of your clothes?
Yeah, it's happened.
It's
It's
happened a
happened
lot.
quite a few times.
Really?
Yeah, and it's a very lovely moment, and it kind of drives you further to keep doing what you're
Keep
doing.
doing it. Actually, you're right, because those are the moments you kind of live for apart from the
Yeah, I
art.
mean, look, when you technically look at it, you have an X number of years to live
Right.
in this world. What are you going to spend doing them? Are you going to be looking at a screen all day long? Or are you going to actually go out and do something which is creative, gratifying, satisfying,
Right.
and with not only to you, but also touching someone else's life?
Yeah.
If
And
you
in
can
such a big
manage,
way.
yeah, and if you can manage to do that,
Right.
that's great. I mean, again, I'd say sorry, bottling jam. Will not be able to do that.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't keep thinking
Somebody's
about that.
not going to come and weep in front of you saying, this is the best jam in the world I've ever had. I don't think that's going to happen.
It's so crazy because everything that you say just paints such an immediate picture. So I'm
We're
laughing more because of that.
we're a visual.
Yes, I am. I am. Okay, tell me celebrities that you have loved dressing repeatedly, who really just carry your clothes with.
Oh, there are too many. This, though,
We want names, but
this
we
list
want at
is
least
endless.
3 names.
Started with Shekhar Kapoor,
Okay.
Kate Blanchett, Joseph Fiennes. Recently, these two kids, and it was like it was surreal actually.
Yeah.
Because Rasha and Ibrahim, and in front of me, I saw Ravina and Saif standing.
Wow.
So I'm like, this is like eerie because both
Yeah.
those guys I've
Of course.
known for a while. They've all
Right.
worn my clothes. Ravina especially has worn a lot of our clothes and is a very dear friend.
Yeah.
And now I see junior versions of both of them standing in front.
And they look so identical to
Yeah,
their
and
parents.
it's like with a different energy and all. And I'm
Yeah.
like, whoa.
Yeah.
So, this is the beauty of fashion because you don't grow old in fashion because you've got to keep staying relevant.
Yes.
So you're kind of going cross generational. And for me, this was the first time it was very surreal because then I literally saw one entire generation shift to
Yeah.
their newest avatars standing in front of me.
Absolutely. And at your couture show, which was like a grand finale, so it was a
With-
big,
yeah.
like too many layers of biggies.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
It's
So it was-
culminating into some
It
huge
was really
event.
fascinating. So that to me was a special moment.
Amazing. But do you have any other celebrities who you just feel look hands down stunning in your
I mean, I thought Angela Bassett looked amazing
She did.
in what we created for her. And I am so grateful for Ruth Carter to have decided to work with us.
Right.
She is. That's one thing Hollywood teaches you, which Bollywood doesn't have, is going back to my first statement, is a degree of humility.
Right.
When we completed all the costume and the shoot was done and all, she would keep sending me photos because COVID days, nobody was traveling.
Right.
So she sent me photos of fittings and this and that. And then finally a note that I am so grateful to you
Yeah.
for having done this for us. Now, who does that? She is a double Oscar winner,
Right.
celebrated costume designer. you
Yeah.
know. So I just feel that this goes a long, long way. And now recently, very recently, this last film of Tom Cruise that came out,
Yes.
in which Angela Bassett is also there.
Yes.
So India Today did a big story on this film, and they interviewed Angela Bassett, and they asked her about any favorite look, and she said
She mentioned yours.
she
Wow.
mentioned, and the interview said that, do you know that he's in
Right.
Delhi, he lives
Yeah.
in Delhi. She said, no, I did not know that, and I hope we get to meet someday.
But did you meet her?
No, I'm not.
Oh, you want to.
So but she said it that I hope because that's by far my most favorite look
Oh, wow.
ever.
That's amazing.
Sort of this thing, yeah.
That's quite a compliment. Anybody that you have dressed anybody that you've missed out on dressing? It could be an icon, it could be a person, simply like.
I don't believe in all these. I think if you continue doing what you're doing, and if you're true to what you do, any opportunity that comes your way is there.
But you know,
And
like
if
a
you miss some,
personality.
you miss them. It was not meant to be.
No, but I meant like in your fantasy world, like a personality that you feel like I really would have loved to dress her or him.
Marilyn Monroe.
Marilyn Monroe.
That would be insane.
That would be
Because,
insane. And Marilyn Monroe and like obviously JJ Valaya Muse would just
I don't know. I would have done some crazy stuff for her.
yeah.
And that would have been nice. And then, of course, I mean, if you go back in time, I bet Gen Z doesn't even know who Marilyn Monroe was. But anyway,
It's not
they'll
that
Google
bad.
it.
It's
Sorry,
not that
they'll what? What will they do? They'll AI it or something.
They'll ask Meta. No, but it's not that bad. It's really not that bad.
Yeah.
It's there, and I'm there to support it. But I feel like they're making their way back to
No, not because of that. It's just that it goes back in time. So maybe some
Yeah.
people just don't know
Some
who the
people might
person
not
was.
know. Right. On an ending note, thank you, Mr. Valaya, to give me so much of your time. I know that you have every day is a mammoth of a day with so much on your to-do list, but this was so gratifying for me, and I'm really, really thankful that you could take out the time for us.
You know, entirely my privilege. It's actually quite refreshing to be able to do something different from what we normally do. And you've got soul. You've put in a lot of thought, and I wish you all the best.
Thank you so much. Thanks a
Thank
lot.
you. Thanks.